Hi everyone, welcome to the Better You podcast. It's so nice to have everyone back. I've been MIA for quite some time because I was focusing on my studies. But it's good to start May with this special guest I have today. She's a very good friend of mine. So, a bit of background about how we met. We are actually from the same university, but we became a lot closer only after we graduated. I'm so grateful for our friendship. It's Jie Yuan. You want to introduce yourself? Welcome.
Yes, I'm Jie Yuan, and I met Patricia. Like we met each other like I think first year of uni, like probably even the first week of uni, but we never really got close up until you moved to London, and then I graduated from uni and then moved to London. And I was like, oh, I'm looking for people to like meet up with in London because I'm moving to new city alone and stuff like that. So I like hit you up, and then bro, from then on it was like Korean food all the time. And then dating shows, Singles Inferno, and Hot Pot.
Sleepovers. Yeah, hot pot is a
Yes.
sleepovers. I think many great memories and like celebrating each other's birthdays.
Oh, and we also go through like our study faculties together. For context, I'm studying.
Mhm.
Oh, I studied for the SQE, the
Mhm.
solicitors qualifying exams in the UK. It's like literally the toughest exams I've ever had in my entire life. And being like what, 24, 25, I've done multiple exams and those are so difficult. I've done the last one now. I'm just waiting for my results and they're out in like 2 weeks.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited for Jian to finish hers. Oh my God, all the best.
No repeats, man. Like I actually can't repeat it. Like when if I fail, I'm just not gonna do it again.
Yeah. Oh no, you won't fail. You
Can't
won't fail.
fail. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll do good. Okay, so this episode, right, is really just a girl talk, like a chill session. I think of it as like a BFF edition because I'm like so comfortable with Jayan to the point that we just can't stop yapping. So it's more about like our glow up plan for 2026 and what do we want to focus in this year. Just to have like a ice breaking session, the first one, like how would you describe your 2026 so far?
I actually really like this topic, like 2026 glow up, just because I think I met you 2019, right? And then we got close in 2023 or 2024-ish. I feel like then I definitely was so different till now because I think 2019 was sort of a good time. And then COVID hit, everything, and I think it went downhill from there a little bit. And things have only started to like pick up now. So I feel like glowing up is like the right theme for me, just because this 2026, I could see a change of my mood and like my own energy of myself or like with people or like the world is definitely changed. I feel like 2026 started really difficult just because of my exams. I did it end of Jan and beginning of Feb, 16 papers in 2 weeks. So it was really, really tough. Like imagine just memorizing six different types of like law and technically being a level of like a qualified lawyer in those areas. There's just tons of things to remember. It was such difficult time for me. But then once I was done with it, things have definitely like chilled. And then I went to Japan, explored, went back to Asia for a bit, recently went to Switzerland as well. So I think I had much more of like a breather time. And during this breathing like space, I feel like I've found myself back when it was a little bit better when things were not in a downhill phase.
Thanks for sharing. I think just hearing whatever you shared, it seems like you've achieved so much. And I think we had this kind of conversation where we kind of overlook whatever we achieved so far. Let's say when you were bringing out like 2019 you versus the 2026 you, we tend to like focus on the good parts, but actually when we look back across the whole trajectory of like our lives, you can really see like how much growth we each have. And I think people should pay more attention to that instead of, oh, only the good things that we see on social media or the good things of our own lives.
I completely agree. Just because like social media or whatever stuff definitely don't show the clear picture. I feel like that's just we all know that and things like that. But you know when you mentioned growth, this is the one thing I realized this year is that for you to have growth and for you to change, to become a better person, right? It's when you really have to break through something, when you have to go through a difficult moment, and that's when you grow. I feel like now I'm more accepting accepting of who I am and like more understanding of myself. And that's because like the past few years have been really difficult, and being in that tough phase itself helps you learn more about yourself and just helps you break through, I feel. And that's when you become someone better before than your difficult phase. Yeah, I think 2026 has been a lot of like learning on that. And that's also because now I have more time. I'm not just studying to explore those as well.
I like that, like how you've put that. And I'm sure like the listeners, when they hear that, they find it so real, like whatever you talked about, like so relatable and real. I think for me, right, like how I would describe my 2026 so far, I think it's been good, a lot better than I thought. Because
Mhm.
if the listeners has followed me and Jayan, like she personally also know, like I was going through a really tough time also for like the past few years. And I think only until last year and recently, like I finally found myself again. And 2026 has been good. I mean, obviously there's good and bad days, and I was also very tied up with studies. Like not only studies, it's more about like a new chapter in my life. Like I had to move back home. There was so much noise around, like, trying to adapt and everything. So I'm really proud of myself because I've pulled through that. And I think going back to what Jarian said about you have to go through a phase. And of course, during that time, it feels very lonely and it feels very dark and scary. But I can say, like, after going through that, like, I'm now at the other side of that tunnel and it feels good. Yeah, so I passed my exams and also I got a new job. Of course, it's like adapting and it's hard sometimes, like, from like student life back to working. But I think overall, it's more like how Jen was saying that she's accepting more about how to face the uncomfortable. Similarly, like, I feel I've also accepted every version of myself, like, accepted that I don't have to be perfect. Let's say now in 2026, I can see that difference compared to when I was like maybe at university. I was so harsh on myself. I feel like, oh, I could be so much better. But 2026 means like, oh, I'm tired. Yeah. Okay. So how can I show up better for myself? How can I treat myself in that moment when I feel tired? Like, do I need rest? Like, maybe I need to shut down on like social media or just get a good night's sleep. So that's, I think, how I've been loving myself more this year.
Bro, that's actually so good because like knowing how much things you went through. I feel among a lot of people that I hang out with, right? Like you're always the one that's so focused in self-development, literally. I feel like every time we go out, right, like you always bring out the topic of like self-development. And I think each time I saw you, like there will always increment on what else you reflected on yourself and then what else you could like improve or feel for yourself. I think when I first saw you then, you were very self-depreciating or in a way where you were just in that, like, down phase, like, we could tell. We could tell. You saw as well, you
The
everything
sad
about
thing is, like, at that point, I was trying to convince myself, like, maybe, like, they had their reasons. I was
yeah.
trying to defend everyone else to think that it's something else. But I think after I healed, like you say, right, after I healed, when I look back, I was like, why was I thinking that way? Like, I could really see how
I think
self-depreciating I was, yeah.
yeah, because I think you didn't value yourself. In a way, you still care for yourself, but you cared for others more kind of thing. And then, like, slowly, I could tell that you believed in yourself more. Oh, I think that's when you also, like, couldn't care less about others. When you change yourself, and even though in the same environment, like, bro, things just got so much better for you. Like, your relationship with everyone else, everything was, like, so much better. I saw that phase and that growth, bro, literally, that's, like, really good on you. I think this is what the 20s are for, honestly, to go through, like, a rough patch and then grow better after the
Mm.
rough patch kinda thing.
It's so interesting to hear it from another person's perspective because I self reflect a lot. And probably because, like, at that point, it was probably like my last outlet and I felt so stuck in life. I was also reaching out to like podcasts and self development like videos. It's more like a saving place for me that I had to reach out to. But all I can say, like, it was really difficult. Like, I know myself, it was so hard. And if like the listeners are really interested in this area, all I can say is like it's gonna take a lot of time, but it's all worth it. A lot of patience and especially at that moment when it feels the most difficult. oh my God, I don't feel like loving myself. And I think that's the point where you just need to keep pouring more into your own cup. I do resonate a lot with what you say. Like I can see it now that I was really not loving myself. And I think that was the first question that I asked myself, like, why do I feel this way? Do I even have enough love for myself? And then from that, I branched out into ways of how I can improve the relationship with myself. Very happy where I am now. And when you say like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so much more confident, like, girl, it's to the point, right? When I wake up every day, it's like, yes, it's me, girl, it's me.
That's good though. But I feel like a lot how you felt was probably, you know, that super stereotype thing where like the oldest daughter of like an Asian house. When you mentioned all that, I could really sense it. Also, wherever you grow up with or whatever environment situation you're with, I think you still did a good job in kind of just changing that and be who you want to be instead and like letting go of that difficult part.
It's almost June. So what's been your 2026 highlight?
Bro, I kid you not, but I feel like okay, March or April when I went back home to Malaysia plus Japan, bro, that was like the dream because it was my first time when I was living so carefree. Okay, let's talk about my Japan trip first. A lot of the time over there, I was hanging out alone because I traveled with my sister, and then my sister has like a Japanese boyfriend. So she was with her boyfriend kind of thing. And honestly, I didn't mind it at all because I think I told you, right? Like, I loved spending time and exploring the country alone because it feels like I could just do the things I want on my own pace and at my own time kind of thing. And also, the biggest element into spending time alone is that you have time to explore, including speaking to strangers. That was what like I felt spoke true to myself because I think I'm quite extroverted, but I'm a shy extrovert, I feel. A lot of time it kind of conflicts because I want to go out reaching out to people and I speak to people, but then I'm like shy. So I feel that I wasn't really living myself because there's this like invisible barrier that stopped me from being myself or who I want to be. For some reason in Japan, like things were so chill. It felt really safe. And I think that was the one day, my last night in Kyoto. I went out for dinner on myself, bro. It was so hard to look for that restaurant, like literally so hard. I was roaming around for 1 hour to look for that specific restaurant. But I'm so glad I did because like I spoke to this couple from New York. They were having their honeymoon in Japan. But when I chatted to them and stuff like that, it was my first time ever like chatting with strangers and they just invited me to dinner with them because we were
Wow.
like queuing outside the restaurant, right? It was like a long queue. Chatted with them and just like, oh my gosh, why is the queue so long? Kind of stuff like that. Then like we could talk like the entire time we were queuing, which is like what 40 minutes. And then they're like, you know what? Just join us for like dinner. Like it's fine. And I kid you not, that was like one of my highlights of this year because I've never done that in my entire life before. And it felt like I've always wanted to do it, but I couldn't do it. I guess in Tokyo, when I was spending a lot of time alone and interacting with like strangers a little bit here and there and speaking English in a country that doesn't speak English as their main language, like those small build ups prior to that night of me having dinner with the strangers kind of helped me be okay with interacting with strangers. And then that night, I didn't realize I could be this extroverted. And that was when I was the happiest as well. I think that's why I feel like my trip in Japan was one of my highlights because I had my first encounter with truly being myself, which is talking to people. When I was not in that conflict, I'm like, oh, wait, actually, once I opened that door, I realized how easy it is and how much joy it brings me. That is like one area of like growth I've learned about myself. And my second highlight is when I was back home in Malaysia. I told you, like, I tried playing the drums and electric guitar.
You know what? Like, I think it's just those small bits that Jian shared with me, and we haven't catch up since I last left UK in like September last year. Across these 6 months, she's telling me all this. I was so impressed, and I was just so happy for her because like she's trying new things.
I finally had the time, and then I realized I was actually living the life of like a young teenage boy because I wake up in the morning and then I go for drum lessons, electric guitar lessons, and then it was like lunch break. And after I take my lunch break, I go out and play like badminton for an hour. And then after that, like I chill for a bit, come back home, watch some like shows, Netflix, and then I go out for dinner. I was like, bro, this is literally my dream life, just chilling and just having hobbies the entire day and not worrying about anything. But obviously I come from like a very privileged like situation where I have a place to stay and then like I've got like friends and family to entertain me. That was like my first taste of true freedom, I feel. There was nothing restricting me. There wasn't like a time constraint. There wasn't like, oh, I need to get back into doing this, or there wasn't like, oh, I need to please others or whatever stuff. It was just a lot about pleasing my own thing, like whatever I want, and then I'll just do it. I think the toughest thing about playing drums is just going to the center and then everyone's like just young kids. It's literally just that. But then if I don't think about that, then actually nothing restricting me. And bro, that was the taste of freedom I had and it was so good. It gives me an idea of like what kind of life I want to live in the future. But what's your highlight for 2026 though? Passing your exam.
Firstly, yes, definitely exam. Okay, firstly, I have so much to comment on whatever Jaren said because I want to like really just hype that up. Okay, so okay, let's start. So, okay, first thing, Jaren, you've mentioned that you felt so carefree. I'm going to touch on that point because when you said that, I resonated so much. I think that's why it's so important. Like people say, it's so important, especially when you've been just doing the same routine kind of thing. Let's say work and then you've been just doing that in the UK and focusing so much on that. But when you're in like a different environment where you can relax and then you refocus and recharge, in that moment it feels so much more valuable. And I could definitely resonate because before that I was working, right? And I was going through so much stuff. And I thought that moving back home, it was such a big change. But to my surprise, it was something probably I needed so much. Like taking a step back from work and really becoming a student again was scary. But on the bright side, I was also so carefree. Like I didn't have to wake up like at those usual hours. I didn't have to like stress out over studies after work. It felt like I had more time for myself, like you say, like trying out new hobbies and reconnecting with people and focusing on myself. Some people do say like the thing that stops you is actually yourself. It's actually not other people, it's what you think, what other people think of you.
I realized like no one even cares, bro. Even if they care, it's just like 3 seconds, and then the fourth second they probably forgot, or like a maximum, like the max thing. And also, why do I have to really think about what eyes am I getting from other people? And the value that you get from like not caring or living carefree, it's just so much more than succumbing to what you think people would think, like living in a constrained environment or restricted kind of choice. That's literally the one thing I learned. Like, no one really cares. And if you don't care, no one would care as well. We just walked in the center confidently, like, bro, I literally am here like all the time and stuff like that. I belong here. No one's gonna care, I feel. So that's the one thing.
Whatever you said, I also want to add on that because it's like really you need to be your hype person. In this world, like what I've learned that helped me so much is that you need to be your biggest cheerleader. In the past, like growing up also, I was the eldest, like what you said, the eldest daughter. And I felt like a lot of things like I had to be an example. Indirectly, like before I knew it, like when you're young, right, you kind of set that pressure on yourself and bring it with you across adulthood. Right now in adulthood, when I realized that I'm the master of my own life and I can heal whatever that I was struggling with, that's when everything changed. Like you say, right? Like honestly, people don't care. Like as mean as that sounds, is true because I'm telling you, everyone out there, right? If you think they are looking at you or if you think they're judging you, honestly, they're just thinking about themselves. It's like the same like how we have like, oh my god, how do I look? Like that person is judging us. It's probably in the mind of others that so you don't have to worry like how you look. Other people and could be something helpful for everyone out there. The last point before I do my highlight is you've mentioned you identify yourself as like a shy extrovert. I feel like I'm at the opposite side of the spectrum. I feel like I'm the extroverted introvert. I'm the sociable introvert. For a very long time, I actually struggled to connect with people deeply because for me, like I'm very internal minded. Like I think a lot and but then at the same time like would like to connect people but not many people I find like out there is like me, so that was a struggle. I think once I let go of that, like, oh, everyone is a certain type, and I just focus on like myself and like I'm a certain type of introvert, that's fine. Like, how can I get to know people better? Like, I think I shifted my mindset on more curious minded. Everyone is different. Like, I want to get to know them better. And that changed the perspective or the narrative of everything. Since Jarian shared two amazing highlights, I'm going to like so share mine. First one, she's also gave a bit of like spoiler. Definitely the exam did. I'm done with that. Went through a lot of
How many years of effort in this?
oh god, 3 years. Actually more than 3 years because I had
Or
to move
3?
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to move back to
Bro,
Malaysia
that's
and then
crazy.
study on my own. Interestingly, I think in these 6 months, even though it sounds quite tight, I actually enjoyed my studies more than I ever did in the past 3 years. Maybe because one is like I'm with family, like I'm in an environment where I'm surrounded with lots of love. And I think my time back in Malaysia reminded me that, I am loved. We tend to forget that a lot.
Yeah, because when we're alone in like this country kind of thing, being
Yeah.
independent, it's so hard to like remember that you are actually surrounded by love or like people around you actually cares.
Correct. And then I've also met many amazing new friends. Like, even though they're younger than me, but we vibe so well. Yeah.
Even though they're younger.
By the way, I look young, still look young, so I think I'm all good. Even though it was just 6 months and it felt really tired, I think also with that mindset where I try to motivate myself, like, hey, I'm so close to the finish line. We're almost there. If I could like go through 3 years and I've made it through, and obviously I had my ups and downs, but we're so near and we could do that.
Given up.
Oh,
I would have given up.
I think it's very easy for us to give up and it's so much harder to hang on. But take a step back and look at the things around you and try to remind yourself or try to reach out that phone and try to connect more with family or try to connect more with friends. I think that's so important, like having that environment and that safety, the energy that remind you that okay, you can do this. It's not like a alone game. I think I used to be so hyper independent that I thought like, oh, I don't want to trouble other people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
I totally relate.
And it's only after I've done like my self work and I see things from a different perspective that I realize that, hey, maybe I am toxic. Like the beautiful thing about how I've come to realize is that, yeah, I may have been toxic, but it might not be entirely because of me. I think that's something that I've learned to be more gentle on myself. Firstly, it might be something that I felt growing up, like I was wired to think that way because of my upbringing and my own childhood. It might not be entirely because of me, but more of like the culture that I came from or the environment or like how we were taught. But then now is that is outside of our control. What is in our control is rewiring what we
Yeah.
what is right now. Like what is theoretically right, not because of what we were taught is right. Once I did that and I rewired myself and changed how I think of myself, I think that helped me a lot. Like I don't like asking for help because I felt that I was troubling the person and I was becoming more of a baggage for, let's say, my mom, like who's having a lot already on her plate. But then the
Yeah.
thing is, we don't see that we are actually putting ourselves more down. We are actually devaluing ourselves. But to our moms, it might be like a form of love that they want to help us more or even appreciate it because you're reaching out.
Yeah, that's what I realized as well. Like that's also how you
Mm.
bond honestly with people with ask for help and then you receive help and then the next time you get asked to help them and then you do help them as well. Like this is literally just bonding, but then for some reason something like wired ourselves in thinking like, oh, getting help from people, asking for help is a baggage to others or like it's a
Mm.
burden to people.
Exactly. That's why I threw that away. And I also thought of it as like, if you change that perspective, if you think from another point of view, if someone asks you for help, right, Jerian?
Oh yeah,
Now
I
they
feel
actually want help.
honored. Because I feel like, oh my gosh, like from all of the people around you and you ask me for help, like you trust me to like do the thing you asked. I'm like, oh, actually that's pretty good. And I always do it, like I always do.
I think as long as you're genuine and you know like you're not taking that person for advantage, like go for it. Just ask for help.
I don't know from what point onwards, because I think I was a
Mm.
fairly happy child last time. And I just don't know from what point onwards where I develop all of these critiques or all of these harsher standard on myself. I'm just so curious at like what point in my life did I start developing this harsher standards on myself? I feel like because I have harsher thoughts and harsher standards on myself, therefore I critique myself.
I hope you find like that incident or that special time in your life that you realize that, oh, I've changed. Because like for me, I definitely know which time in my life that has definitely shaped me into that person. So I think that has helped me retune with my inner child, just soothe my inner child and give that love to that inner child that was going through so much at that time. So I really hope that you find that. My second 2026 highlight is really exposing myself to different things. I actually started modeling, and this is quite a full circle moment because when I was younger, like I've always wanted to see like, oh, how is it like to be a model? And I always wanted to try, but never did I know that I would model at this age, like 26. Or yeah, I'll actually do it.
I feel like it's so good that you did it because like everyone has passions, everyone has hobbies, and everyone has things that they want to do, but they don't actually do it. But I feel like you actually do it. Like you're not like I have passion but no action. Like you have passion and you have action.
It's nice to know that like I'm maybe perhaps setting an example to others also, like those around me. It doesn't have to be like the general public, like a big public, but it's also nice to see it's inspiring to my friends.
Anyone.
Such. Yeah, to anyone, yeah. And also not only modeling, what I've done also, I'm doing NGO work on the side and I want to start my own NGO in the future. And I really, that's why I took this step to like get hands on how NGO works. So I've been quite occupied and I think that's such a beautiful thing to me and such a big step because in the past, right, like I remember, like I was so self-depreciating to the point where I felt like my own time was for others. I was so available, but I was available to others and never to myself. But now it's like the other way. I had went through so much to the point like now I'm putting all the love that I give others. Not saying that I don't love others anymore, but I was putting let's say I was putting 90% to others. Now at least I'm putting 70% to myself and really focusing on my passions and putting energy in myself. I can really see I have so much more beautiful relationships with myself and like with my friends and to anyone else. The next question is what version of yourself are you outgrowing? To be very honest, right? I think because I've done so much self work, there's really not too much that I'm outgrowing because I've been tapping on all the things that I felt like I was putting myself down. So maybe I can share what I want to continue to outgrow. What I want to continue to outgrow is that I've put a stop to comparing myself with others in the sense where I've accepted myself for me. Like accepted that, like I'm like this because that's me. If I'm like other people, then it's not Patricia anymore. Not everyone likes modeling, not everyone likes NGO, not everyone likes podcasts, but now I'm so proud to say like these are my passions and these are my strengths. Like in the past I didn't even know my strengths. If someone were to come up to ask me like, name me your three strengths or name me your three weaknesses, honestly, right, I can name all my weaknesses, but there's no strength that I can name. Yeah. So that's when I realized like, hey, maybe I don't love myself enough. And that's what I want to continue to do.
I feel like every time when we set goals and intentions and stuff like that, my intentions is always be more of something, but never really like less of something. I've not really thought of that. And that's why when you ask me the question, what part of you do you want to outgrow? I'm like, wait. Because I've always been like, okay, I want to be more confident, more adaptable, more flexible, that kind of thing, right? Although parts of it, of like being more something directly also kind of means you do less of something, but there really wasn't it like concrete intention of being less of something. So when you ask me now, what do I want to be less about? I think it's the less of doubting myself and doubting if things would actually work well. I think I always have thoughts like, surely this won't be like good. Like, surely I wouldn't be able to get this. Like, surely I wouldn't, that kind of stuff. I would think like, oh, I'm already so lucky to get a job in the UK. Like I've already used up all my luck kind of thing, like how can I be lucky again to get all of these things? all the positive stuff in my life was attributed to like luck. In my case, I would always expand the luck part. And therefore, I always doubt that I would actually get something else because luck is something you can't really control. Therefore, like I would want to reduce or outgrow the part of me doubting myself and thinking that my life is not in my hand.
What are you focusing at the moment? It can be, career, love, personal growth.
Oh, I think myself definitely because I'm a difficult person to deal with, especially dealing with myself. I have a lot of work to do. And honestly, just like living a bit more freely and doing the things that I want so I can at least know and learn what I want to be more and what I want to be less of. I think the one thing I really want to focus on is just being happy because I think I've never really felt truly happy in a long time. Like my dad actually said this to me when I was back home in Malaysia. He was like, "Yeah, I've actually not seen you this happy in a while." And he said that like, you finally went back to your true happy girl self. Coming from my father, who literally is that one person who saw me going through this entire phase, like phases, because there are like multiple difficult phases in my past 6 whatever years in the UK, especially. Coming from here, I was like, oh my gosh, it actually meant so much to me. And like now that I have a taste of happiness, of like true happiness, I know how does that feel. And therefore, like I'm definitely gonna strive towards more of like that positive feeling.
I like what you just said, and actually, that's the same answer that I have for this question. Like, what do I want to focus on myself, right? It's definitely career, I would say, because I've already finished off my studies, and that was like really the main focus that I had, like, over the past 3 years, like balancing career and studies. But a lot of the stress was coming from studies. And I was really stuck in a way where, like, do I really want to do this long term? But now that it's off my baggage, I feel really free in the sense where all the focus is on building my career because it's all going up, up, up now. That's like my focus to just go up, up, up and really build the life that I truly want. In the past, for me, right, when love came into the picture, I realized that I was ready to let everything go. And that was scary because the girl that I grew up as, I was so independent and I was like, I don't need a man. But it's scary because you don't know what love can do to you. Like maybe it wasn't the right person. If it was the right person, it maybe felt like I really just want to improve myself every day and I really want to focus and build my life because it wasn't the right person, sadly. And across that time period, also with work, like it was a toxic dynamic to the point like I felt so insecure and I was leaning onto like external validation. I was leaning onto the idea that, oh, I only need love in this world because I probably didn't love myself enough. Inside, like the core wasn't strong enough to the point like I'm seeking out from other sources. Right now, the interesting thing is that even though like I'm not like committed to anyone, I don't feel the rush. And it's scary and also beautiful because in the past when I was like in a relationship, I always felt the rush to want to get married and settle down. Now, it's like because I've built this new version of me and I've built such a whole person, I've never felt happier and more peaceful than I ever did in like 25 years of my life. When you said you want to find that about yourself, like you want to find like what you like and what you don't like, what you want to focus on. I really wish that for you. I just want to say, I really wish that for you and anyone who's feeling stuck out there, especially I think in your mid 20s onwards, right? You really don't know like where do you belong because you're no longer a teenager. But also like it feels scary like I'm an adult now and I have to like manage everything. Not just like finance, but like we don't learn this at school. Like how do we manage our emotions and like how can we manage like in our first relationship or like for our first career? It's so new to us wish that for everyone because I'm at that stage where like so happy being with myself that the idea of like someone coming in now it's like really now it's like he's not competing with other men. He's competing with the life that I have for myself with my kids.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. you're not even trying to worry I cheat, bro. You're trying to worry I'm gonna live without you. You get what I mean? Like I'm gonna be happy without you. Not 1000%. You're not competing
Yeah.
with other men. You're competing with my own peace without you.
Yeah. Think like you say the taste of like your own happiness, I think it really comes from you truly knowing yourself. Because like in the past, right, I didn't even know my standards. Like honestly, if you ask me like what kind of guy I like, I was really drawn to like good looking guys. But then I think right now like I'm intentionally wanna change my pool to not just limit myself to what is attractive on paper, like what looks nice,
Oh
but
yeah.
really look inside like the person because obviously I like personality, but I think more of like that person, how does he make me feel, not like how he feels about me. Because I used to be that type of person where like, oh, he likes me, right? That I tend to like fall so fast. Having experienced love, I want to look for someone that will not only brings me peace, but also feels like I love myself more with him.
Makes me feel better.
Yeah, like
See better when I'm always something with you.
and then yeah, it's true, you know, they said like the right person will not only make you love them, but they also make you fall in love more with what you don't like by yourself. What was your biggest lesson or wake up call in 2026 been so far? And have you
Bro,
done anything to better yourself in that area?
this podcast, man, I've realized I've got more work to do on myself. Yeah, this is my wake up call, like 1000%. I guess it's just like I'm gonna reflect back on my Japan trip and probably like my Switzerland trip. Switzerland went paragliding and literally I'm afraid of heights, but I did it anyway. It was a
Oh.
wake up call of thinking you can do stuff even though you're scared of doing it.
For me, my biggest lesson is really to just let things go. And honestly, just don't be too harsh on myself. Because like with my studies, right, like in 2026, I was really managing like studies. And then on the side, I was also doing NGO work. So that was honestly taking a lot of toll on myself. And I felt really anxious. Like, oh, can I actually really pass my exams? Because I feel so overwhelmed. The biggest lesson I've learned is that be willing to pass down to people, like be willing to trust others to take on your work. I consider myself quite a perfectionist, but I think I've improved so much ever since in the sense where I'm less critic about myself and I learn to trust that other people are also able to do like similar and amazing work and not be so nitpicky about things. Just take a break when I need to. And like, it's okay if I don't get everything right on the first try. Like, let's say my exams, right? Like, if I'm doing a lot of questions, lesson I learned is like, it's okay. Like, if I can't get it right, I still have time. I still have a lot of time to improve and yeah, let go of everything and don't take things personally. Used to take things so personal and like take it to heart, right? And if like a person were to say a certain thing, I always felt like it was targeted to me. Especially the tone. I used to get so like put a lot of emphasis on how the way they talk, like their tone. Maybe they're just them as a person and I've learned that that reflects on them and it's never on me.
Oh yeah, I agree. That when people are like upset at work or upset in general, I just and then I feel like it's not me, it's them.
If they want to be bad mood, then it's on them. Then it's okay lah. Then I take a step back. Yeah, so that's why it's like you need to love yourself enough to know like you need to take a step back so you don't tolerate all this. Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
Literally, like if you wanna be in a bad mood, like you can be in a bad mood. I'm not gonna jump into that.
Yeah, so just detach lor. What's your theme or mindset for 2026?
I think it's just happiness again. Like I'm trying to think of something else, like genuinely. Bro, that Malaysia trip has really changed my life in a way. I feel like I've really got a taste of what happiness is really like and what freedom feels like. Like I think I'm just really striving on that. Of course, that comes in like many aspects, like career and things like that. A lot of it comes with actually just getting what I want and doing the things that I want right now. Because previously, like I told you, I was shy and I always had this door of not really getting what I want because I fear of what people think of me and how would it look. Like I'm just shy. I'm like not really a go-getter. But now I feel that there's no consequences in being a go-getter. What's the bad thing to come because even if there is, I think the value is so much more than whatever negative stuff there is that comes from it. I feel like it's just getting what you want and just be happy, like prioritize your own happiness. Honestly, whatever you want, go and get it.
I'm really happy for you because every time you bring out the Malaysia trip and like the Japan like incident, you seem so genuinely happy. I feel like you can start using it as a compass to guide you. So now you know like what happiness feels like, right? Whatever that you go through in life, or it's like you're gonna always tie back to how you truly felt at that time, and you're able to identify, I feel better, like what makes you happy and what makes you not. And I relate so much about like when you say like about how others think, like I think I was like that too, like because I was so focused on externally like how others think that it actually stopped me from a lot of opportunities or like really being like the best version of myself. What I mean by that is like really achieving things. Because I always felt like, maybe like I would be a bit too much. Like maybe I was showing off a lot. Really, if people want to be jealous, right, then that is on them. Then they will need to work on trying to be their best version because like we are all on our journey. You're not like going into people's lines and stealing the job. You're actually striving on your own. I think once I stopped thinking that it's selfish of me to do certain things and maybe people will get jealous and instead like really appreciating like my values and appreciating what I can bring to the table. I think that really changed things. My team and mindset for 2026 is definitely like being chill. Like, don't take things personally, was what I was saying. Life is chill and like
Deep.
it's really not that deep. Don't you think it's so heavy? Like every day before you go to bed, you think about it. Like no more of this overthinking. Like my mindset for this year is really just focused on what I can control, which is me. What I can control is only what I decide how I react to things. I can't control like how that person reacts to me, but I can control how I react to what he reacts. I'm only gonna accept positive energy into me. Life is chill. Let go of things. Tomorrow is a new day. I don't care what happened last week. Just move on. What kind of people or energy are you attracting or you want to attract in 2026?
Oh, just chill. Same, just chill energy. I'm quite content with the people around me, honestly. I'm like not even seeking for more or like hoping for less or anything like that. But like energy wise, more than like attracting but giving out, I feel. I think I would just want to give carefree energy. I feel like I just keep using this carefree word all the time.
Mm,
Yeah, just being chill and genuine about myself.
mm.
That's the energy that I hope I'm giving to others and also hopefully attract from others as well. Because if two genuine people meet each other, I think like that's the best bond you could ever get. Like honestly, when you're true to yourself, true to others. Yeah.
I think the same answer is honestly is genuine people that I want to attract this year. What I mean by attract is like it can be in workplace or like new people that you meet. You never know, you might meet new friends. Doesn't matter which area of my life, like work, friends, or strangers, or the people that I come across, is really just genuine people. Because I think for me, it's on the other side of the spectrum because I've always been giving out so much energy to people. I've been so available. I feel not reciprocated. I feel so drained because I realized that people weren't giving back because I was so accessible. Like the recent years and recent times, if people don't reciprocate, I'm not gonna like continue that. Like I can always meet new people. I'm just gonna take a step back and see what they do. If I'm truly like to them, I'm someone important, they will reach out. So I'm gonna trust them that they want to do it, they will do it. That's the energy that I'm putting in 2026 is be more focused on myself and let other people show their intentions and their worth for me. What's one way you will show up for yourself more lovingly in 2026?
I don't know. I feel like it's such a hard question. I literally have no clue how to answer it. Like, how would I show up myself a bit better?
Or maybe how would you love yourself more in 2026?
I think like just going on more side quests, really, and like hanging out with people generally. I feel like I'm extroverted, right? It's just because of that shy part. I think I'm always happy when I hang out with people and have good activities, good conversation and stuff like that. I think showing up for yourself means doing things that you like and make you happy as well.
My way of how I show up better for myself in 2026 is really just stop comparing myself to others. I think I've come a long way. I don't really see myself comparing with others, and I think I would like to re-narrate that. I think how I've learned to love myself more, and I want to continue that or be more loving. Let's say, right, like in a workplace, like someone's more senior than me, they're so much better in a lot of things. They're so much knowledgeable. I think how I've been able to show up myself is that instead of thinking them as like a threat or it might take me a long time to achieve, like I think of them as like an inspiration. No longer like comparing myself, but I think of them like I would love to know more about them. How have they come this far? Through that conversation, I'm able to like be inspired and I'm able to build that for myself. Like similarly, if next time, like let's say I see someone that dresses well, I'm not afraid sometimes like to just go out like, hey, you look good. Like I used to, oh my god, they're so pretty, right? I don't look as pretty as them. But now it's like I feel like everyone deserves to be praised if like you like how the person dresses. I feel that also gives you energy because like I will go up to them like, hey, yeah, like you're so pretty. Like where do you get that from? Similarly, it cheers me up when like someone actually comes to me. I love your earrings. Where are you from? So I think it's just that energy that if we can all like spread to the world, I think it makes such a better place. Cause like we are all like so obsessed with social media and like comparison, like we start to put it back on ourselves and we start to get like maybe jealous of other people and maybe envy turns into such a negative energy. But instead, if you look at it another way, if we were to spread that and praise other people, like you also in a way you get back that same energy. If you can pick a song, what's your anthem for 2026?
From like 1st January till now, or like from like basically the entire 2026?
Entire.
Let me go through my Spotify actually. Lately, I've been listening to Cashy, like Soft Spot acoustic version, because I think I'm going through my
Soft era.
I don't think I'm showing soft era though.
I think you need a really hype song like happiness slash have fun coded.
I'm listening to like BTS new album actually, One More Night. Actually, that's my favorite, and like Body's a Body. Wait, you know what? I think Beauty and a Beat. Actually, Beauty and a Beat. Sorry, I'm going through my Spotify.
That's a very
And
nice one, yeah.
Beauty and a Beat, and I think Teenage Dream.
I feel like our music taste depends on like whatever we're going through.
To be honest, like during January and I want to say January is secondary, but January and February, my favorite song was Scream by High School Musical Zac Efron. Like literally, I listened to that like
Ah.
10,000 times because I just wanted to scream because I was
Mm.
stuck in this freaking four walls.
Honestly, it's relatable. Like when I was doing my exams, right, I barely went out, and then I was just joke with my friends like, "Oh my god, I'm stuck in four walls like prison." Really important to go out. Like as much as I like being at home.
It was really, really bad, and I just wanted to scream. But because I live with people, I can't really like scream and stuff. So
Mm.
just listen to the music, the song. And then now it's more chill. Now it's like
Soft spot. Oh, I'm happy to see like it's that now, not like the other way around.
not the scream.
I can also see like from last year, like there's so many so deep sad songs, and then now it's like so fun. I think for me, if I were to pick a song, right, definitely for 2026 is Miss Independent by Neo. It really describes me as a person, and I find it very nice because in the past, in a relationship, I lost that independent self, and now I'm back at it again. Technically, what I'm saying is that I found myself again, and I never felt better like in my life. And I think on top of finding myself again, it's like a improved version, and it's like a happier version and a more loving version to myself. This Miss Independent really explains myself because it's like I don't need a man, and like the focus is really all on me instead of putting my energy on other people and getting distracted. So that's my focus and my anthem song for this year is to just focus on myself and building my best life.
Of
If a
course.
guy comes in, then he just adds value to it and it's not like distracts me from anything.
Of course, 1000%. Miss Independent.
Miss
Yeah.
Independent. Last but not least, what's your goal for 2026 or describe your 2026 vision board?
I think firstly is to qualify because I think I've just like you, I've been in this journey for way too long now. I think almost like studying for close to 7 years, literally. Like 4 years of full-time law school and then 3 years of like part-time law school studying for an SQE. Bro, I just can't wait, man. Like literally just can't wait to be done with this. Definitely passing my exams. That's the one big goal I have. And then second one is I don't know. I do think of like taking a gap actually of going out there and explore. I think I told you I wanted to do like the Korean summer school for like the longest time. I don't think I'm making it for summer because it's almost summer already. It's a probably like winter school, but at the same time, a little bit afraid of stepping to that because it's like taking a break from my career and like pausing for a moment, right? And going to a foreign country, bro, all still sounds quite crazy, but like definitely I'll do it in my life. It's just a matter of when. But I guess that's my two big goals in terms of recordable milestone, I feel.
For me, what my goal or vision board is for 2026, I think it's all tied back to whatever I said in this episode. Really just focusing on myself, my career. It's such a nice feeling to like feel myself again and really want the best for myself because I think I've been wanting to do like a lot of things for others and maybe in love wise I've putting a lot of stress to finding the one and also like for family wise I always want to be providing more as like the eldest daughter. But I think this year is I'm so excited to really climb up the corporate ladder and like building a name for myself. Yeah, making my own money and probably go on more trips. And now I'm able to get a job, I can save up more and treat myself more to more solo trips that I've been doing. Yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I feel like solo trips definitely like change you as a person because it brings different perspective about the world and yourself. Like
Mm.
I didn't even do a solo trip. I just did like what solo hour,
And it felt so
solo
good, right?
5 hours. Yeah, and it felt so good. Literally, it felt
Yeah.
so good, and it was life changing for me. So I'm pretty sure if you did a real solo trip, it would be like life changing.
Yeah, I've done like so many, so that's why like maybe because I'm so independent also and I like my alone time. Whenever I do solo trip, it's like a recharge time for myself. So yeah, I'm hoping to go to one country or two countries this year. See how. Thanks, Jerian. Like I had a really good time. This session, I feel like for me, it's like a catch up session, and I think
Yeah.
it's so nice because even though we are so far away, we still able to maintain and just have this really fun session. So it reminds me like friendship doesn't have to be like in the same city or like someone very close to you. It can still be sustained like if we both want to. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. Also, it became like a therapy session real quick.
No.
How do you feel from this session? Yeah, would you come back
Right.
again?
I would honestly. I hope I come back a bit more like a better person, genuinely. And I think this session was really good. It's nice to articulate those thoughts like out there and it's nice to like catch up and also speak about our thoughts because I feel like all of these are really brutally honest. Like none of this was like performative. Maybe because we're just talking to ourselves, like how we were always like when we were in the UK, or even when I went back to Malaysia that time. It's just like usual catching up kind of thing and doesn't feel specifically like a different setting.
Like
Yeah, so
professional podcast.
so that's why like all of these honest thoughts just spilling out there, like flowing it out there.
I'm very happy that this was a safe space for you to open up. The reason why I started podcast is also like just being more honest with me, like my feelings and also like connecting with others and how people feel. And I realized like by starting the podcast, right, because I was on my own like journey to loving myself more and bettering myself, I've become more vulnerable and willing to open up to others through that, right? Because when I was opening up myself to others, I think they sensed the energy and they felt safe enough to do the same thing. I think that brought me closer to so many people. I wasn't just connecting to like old friends or like my guests. even to my usual friends, they will give me like comments and feedback like, hey, like, I'm so proud of you. Cause like when I hear your podcast, you really inspire me and so and so. Such a good feeling. And I'm happy like today you came in with that mindset, which was really good. You're like, I don't care like whatever people think. Like at least I'm showing up as like my real self. So I think
Yeah.
credit wise, you really need to give to yourself more. So I'm really happy to have you here today. And thanks for coming onto the podcast. Yeah.
Likewise. Cool. Thank you
Mhm.
so much for having me.
If the listeners enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Stay tuned for the next episode. Bye.